There are two very dangerous fears that hold people back from achieving their full potential. So you have all these dreams, these passions, these things you want to release, even as simple as putting down your own thoughts about what you really want, but you're so scared to actually release them because of these two fears. And the best way to actually paint a picture for you to really understand the power that these two fears have over you is this scientific experiment. If you're interested, put on your science coat and your science cap and goggles, and let's look at this picture. Imagine I brought before you a sparkling white bedsheet. It is spotless, it is stainless. Your immediate reaction will be, wow, that's a very, very beautiful, clean and shiny bedsheet. If I do that a couple of times, you're probably going to have the same reaction. But then if I bring the same bedsheet, but this time around I've used a marker to place a black dot at the center, once you look at that sheet this time around, all your attention will be focused on that black dot. Oh no, it has a stain. That's probably going to be your reaction. So you ignore completely the fact that 99% of that sheet is clean, but all your attention is focusing on the minute imperfection. And if we reverse the exercise, imagine I first of all brought, a bunch of super dirty bed sheets and I presented them before you. You're probably going to say, that is stinky, that is super dirty. And if I do that a couple of times, you're probably going to have the same reaction. Then imagine I bring that same sparkling white bedsheet with the marker placing a black dot at the center. Your attention won't be on that slight imperfection. Rather, you're going to say, whoa, this is much better than the previous ones. I mean, it has a stain, maybe if at all you even notice it, but that's negligible because look at how every other place is super clean and super great. When it comes to success, the most important thing, which perhaps is not spoken about much enough, is actually starting. If you don't start, then there is no way you can succeed or you can improve or you can even fail and learn from your failures. And there are two major fears that paralyze people from starting their work in the first place. And that is one, the fear of the people who wouldn't like their stuff. So you want to set out for something, but all your attention and focus is on the people that might not like it instead of the people that might actually like it. And then the second is the fear and intimidation from the people who have already gone ahead of you and are doing way better than where you are at your beginning. So if we look at the first one, most people, once they want to work on something they're passionate about, what they're dreaming, all their attention and energy is focused on the people who might not like their work. Oh no, let me not do it this way. They might criticize me. Let me not do that. These people might have something against it. These people might not like it. These people might criticize me. They might bash me. They might put me out and all of that kind of stuff. But you never for once stop to ask yourself, okay, what about the few people who would actually like my stuff? So instead of focusing on the people who like your stuff and use that as a motivation to actually get started and break free from that fear and that chain, you're so much focused more on the people who wouldn't appreciate the stuff. So when you look at the first part of that exercise, once you look at the clean bedsheet with the tiny spot on it, all your attention is going to that spot instead of all the other parts that are super clean. And this is typically you focusing on what wouldn't be right, meaning you're focusing on your imperfections, you're focusing on the fact that you're still a beginner or you don't have as much capital as others or you're probably not as good as you could be yet, instead of focusing on all the other parts of white sparklingness, which is actually that gives the talents, the potentials, the passion that you actually have in you burning, waiting to go out there for the few people, no matter how small, that are actually going to like the stuff. And then the fact that you have been primed by many clean bed sheets before is the second fear, where you're trying to compare yourself to the people who are ahead of you. So you have first of all seen all these other people who have had several years in the industry, several years of experience. So their work is super sparkling. You can't see any imperfection on it. Now comparing yourself to them, even with the slightest imperfection, paralyzes you completely from even starting. But then the thing you forget is that they themselves started right where you were, and some of them even began with way worse conditions and disadvantages So the secret to success that we are seeing here, which is perhaps one of the most important secrets to success, because one, if you don't overcome focusing on the people who are not going to like your work instead of the people who are actually going to like your work, you remain paralyzed and then you never get to start. And likewise, allowing yourself to be mesmerized and intimidated by the people who have gone ahead of you and are so much better, you're likewise never going to start. And if you never start, there is no way you can learn, you can grow, you can improve, or eventually succeed at that. Remember, it is better to be criticized by 90% and impact the lives of 10% than to be afraid of getting criticized by 90% and don't impact anyone. Because not getting criticized is not an achievement. You can't say, well, at least I won't get criticized, so that is something. That is nothing. What really matters is the lives that you have touched. And like a wise man said, if you're never criticized for anything, it means you're technically not living. If you don't make any mistakes, it means you're not living, because mistakes are the evidence that you're alive. And likewise, criticism is the evidence that you're making progress, you're getting out of your comfort zone, and you're actually trying new things. And hope that inspires you. Let me know in the comments below which of the fears has paralyzed or limited you most in the past. Is it the fear of the people who won't like your stuff and criticize it, or simply the intimidation and fear of the people who have already gone ahead of you and are way much more better than where you currently are at your start? One thing I'd like you to do in the comments below is to look at the reversal exercise where we begin with a bunch of dirty bed sheets and tell us what lesson can we learn from that to actually break free from these two fears. The answer with the most likes will be pinned down below. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Hit that bell if you're new to the channel so you don't miss our next video. A big thank you to all our patrons. Thank you so much for helping us create content like this. You too can do the same. The link is down below. I am Jumesi from Wisdom for Dominion. And until the next video, stay blessed.